Hi, I'm Wanda from Alanda Craft, and we were recently asked if we would do a review and a demonstration of the Aufero Laser 2 engraving and cutting machine. We said yes, we'd be delighted to do that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through and show you some of the things that we've made and just give you our opinion on this machine. So this is what came in the box, and it was beautifully packaged in lots of foam, and you get everything you need to put it all together, including screws and the tools, and there's a manual, and you also get some safety goggles, and it's most important you wear these when you're using it. Now it came together quite well, but we did have to go and get a YouTube video just to see that we were doing the right thing, and it was very easy to put together. It didn't take too long at all, and between the two of us we got it up and running in no time. Now the machine comes with a couple of cables, and this is the power cable that goes in here, and this is the cable that connects it to your laptop or computer. There's a USB on one end, and that goes into the computer or laptop, and this one goes into the front of the machine here. Now you need some software to run this machine, and we settled on Lightburn. It seems to be what most people have. It's similar to running a ScanNCut or a Cricut. You need to have a software program. Now the Lightburn is free trial for 30 days, and then you have to purchase it, and it's suitable for Windows and Mac. Now this is what the screen looks like, and there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube on how to use Lightburn. It's really well supported, so you won't have any problems there. So now we needed to move it out to the garage, and we cleared a space there next to a computer, and we set it up there in the well ventilated area because it must have plenty of airspace around it. So we're setting up our first project, and what you need to do with each project is to take the spacer and just set the laser beam down. So you drop it down, then you screw it up again and remove the spacer. That's you must have a distance between your project and the light. So here we go, we're doing the first attempt here. Now it was going very well, and we're quite pleased with it. We thought we'd like it a bit darker, so we changed the settings. Now keep in mind we're newbies and we weren't quite sure which way the numbers were to go, and we obviously took it the wrong way because this is a lot lighter. So we thought, well, we still like it, but not quite what we were looking for. You can see how quick it moves, it's just brilliant. So this is the third attempt, and on the third attempt we've got the settings right, and that looks just lovely. Nice and dark, and it just stands out beautifully. But doesn't this do just such a lovely job? And there we go. Very happy with that result. So our next project is this aluminium plate, and you'll probably recognise both the plate and the design from our ScanNCut engraving video that we did some time ago. And so we thought we'd see how this machine goes with engraving on this aluminium piece. Now it's doing a beautiful job, as you can see. Really love it. And we did do two of these, but I will put a picture on the website with the other one because we did just a line print, but this one looked much better because we did the fill. So with our next project we're using, you can see actually that we have the laser guard around the wrong way, just as well we had our glasses on, most important, because that should be facing towards the back. Now we use this really cute design that we got from Etsy, and this is being done on the back of a piece of wood that is the back of an iPad stand or a book stand. Now this ostrich, when you see it when it's finished, is just great. Now we did do this twice. We did it on the other side and it was a bit light, so we ran it through again, but we should have left the eyes light and we didn't, and they burnt. So we turned the board over and we've done the pattern again. Now just look at that. That's just gorgeous. Such a beautiful little picture. So now we're going to move on to some cardstock, and you can see here we have a piece of blue cardstock. This is Lawn Fawn and it's 100-pound weight, and I was a bit disappointed with this. That didn't come out on that colour very well. It's not the machine's fault by any means. This is the card just wasn't the right colour. So we got a darker piece of card, and we're just doing this cute little gnome on here, and the machine is doing beautifully around the sunflower and around the outline. So it certainly is standing out a lot better, as you can see just from here. And there you are. Yes, the darker colour certainly looks much nicer, and that will go great on a Christmas card. Now this is our second attempt on cardstock, but we changed the settings. We wanted to try something else, and it works really well, but the settings were just a little bit too severe for it, and what happened is it started cutting out the design, which is fine if that's what you want to do, but that wasn't what we had in mind. So we did a second one and we changed the settings back to the same as the original card and did the design again, and we've got these stacked teacups and they look really lovely on this dark background. There's the contrast between the two, and you can see the hole just above the bottom cup there, but I can cut it out as a die cut. So these are some slate coasters that I bought from Amazon, and you can see the machine is going really, really slowly, and it needs to do that so that it can cut through and make the impression on the slate. Now, one of the most difficult things that we found at the start was knowing what the speed and the power settings were for each of the specific materials. But fortunately, we found the LA Hobby Guy forum where he provides for free downloadable material setting files for this machine. And he's been a godsend to us. And without him, I don't think we would have got as far as we got on this first day. So there we are, there's our slate coaster. So now we're going to do some cutting, and you can see there that I have my cake cooling rack, and I need that because I want some space between the base tile and my material that I'm going to be cutting for my project. And that allows the smoke to dissipate, and so you don't get as much soot build up on the reverse side of your project. Now I've slowed the machine right down, as you can see, so that the laser beam is concentrated and is able to take the time to cut right through the material. That's the theory. We'll see what happens. This is my first cutting attempt. Now if you take a close look, you'll see that we're cutting out the unicorn, and for those of you who will have followed the channel, you'll know that recently we used this unicorn on some t-shirts and bags, and when we used the HDV Ront heat press machine. And it's a lovely design that we got from Love SVG. I really do like this. I will put a link to the design in the description below. Okay, so it looks like it's finished cutting, so let's have a look at how it went. Oh, that's looking great. All right, pieces just pop out. And that's done a beautiful job, and as you can see, there's very little soot on the back. So our next project was this ornate panel, and these are really good. You can use them on the fronts of cards and then embellish them, or you can use them for all sorts of decorations. Now we used the plywood setting for these cutouts. We're using an actual MDF board, and it's 3mm thick, but the setting is 100 speed and 100 power, and this is doing a beautiful job. As you can see here, it's cut this panel out beautifully. So I'm just going to remove it. And as you can see, the cooling rack is in the back there. And I started pushing the bits out, but then I realised I could just give it a shake and the things would drop out. So there we are, that's what I finally decided to do. Now, isn't that just gorgeous? You can paint that up. You could actually put some, tuck some flowers in, put it on top of a card or something. It's just lovely. So very, very happy. Now the next thing we're going to do is a jigsaw. Again, I've used the same settings, 100 speed, 100 power. And this is the same board again, it's the MDF, and I've used the plywood setting as from the materials library. And look how beautifully that's cut out that jigsaw. So, you know, the possibilities are endless with this machine. I just love it. It does such a great job, and it's so clean and so easy to use. As I say, we're still learning, and this was a day of a full attempt. But there you go. So there we are. You've seen the things that we've managed to make with our Aufero Laser 2, and we just love this machine. It's just so practical for crafting ideas and projects, so we'll be doing much more, and we'll be bringing you more videos about this as we go along and as we actually get more confident, because as you know, we were newbies at this. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.